Hi there, and welcome to Living Greatly with Anna McKinley. So, as you may know, I am on a 100-day challenge. I'm doing a podcast episode for you every day for 100 days, all of them focused on helping you to live a great life. So in our last two episodes, we've looked at how to actually get started on something that we might have been putting off, deferring, something we really want, but we just keep leaving it till later. And we talked about the secret magic formula for actually getting started to accomplishing whatever it is that you most want. Last episode, we talked about how to eliminate fear of failure. Actually, by realizing that it's simply a choice that we make ourselves. Difficult one, that I know, but true nevertheless. So what's next? Actually, I want to talk with you in this episode about one of your hidden superpowers. This is a power that we all have available to us and most of us don't use. And it's the C word. Not that C word, commitment. So commitment, what is commitment? Commitment is when we commit to doing something 100%. No shades of grey, no, I'll think about it, I may do it. It's 100%, I'm going to do this. I am going to follow through. We commit to something, it means it's done. This is going to take a little while for the rest of the world to catch up, but it's done. It's that certain. That kind of commitment, to be blunt, very few people in the world do it. But when we actually commit to something, it unlocks an amazing kind of power. So I'll share a personal story with you, actually. I'm a coach, right? I help people to overcome their limiting beliefs, to set goals that stretch them, to accomplish things that they feel are beyond their dreams. And my clients do that. And it's very, very cool. And I've never, ever had a single client who has not had some kind of health and fitness goal. Everyone that I've worked with through the years, when we're looking at what are the improvements they want to make in their lives, there is always an aspect around health, nutrition, getting more exercise, etc. Why? Well, because that's the part of our lives that generally tends to drop off the list first when the pressure comes on, isn't it? Let's be honest. For most people, not absolutely everybody, but for most people it is. And everyone, we all know how important that area is, right? So here I am. I'm a coach. I'm helping people achieve their health and fitness goals. But for a while, I myself had a limiting belief in that area. Just between you and me, that belief was, I am not a runner. I can't run. I hate running. I just can't do it. That was my belief. And yet, running is about one of the most convenient forms of exercise that there is. We can do it just about anywhere, right? All you need is a pair of shoes. In fact, some people don't even need that, right? And so for me to achieve my health and fitness goals around a flexible lifestyle, it was really important to me to actually start running. So here's the thing. I mean, I had all sorts of good reasons and excuses for my belief around running. I had asthma as a child. Running always triggered it. It let me off the hook when we were doing school exercise and all of that kind of stuff. And it helped me to build up this belief. But it was simply a belief. So I decided, well, I'm going to take the same approach as my clients do. I'm going to tackle this thing head on. I'm going to break it down into baby steps. I'm going to let go of the fear and I'm just going to do it one little bit at a time. And I started doing that. I started with simply getting a pair of running shoes and then running around the block and then extending the run from 5 minutes to 10 minutes and so on. But it was a bit of a drag and not a lot of fun. But the thing that actually turned the tide for me was I told people about what I was doing. I mentioned it to a few people. I mentioned that I'd set this goal of a particular 10-kilometer event. For those of you in the United States, that's around about 6 miles. It's not a massively long run, but it was a stretch for me. In fact, I was going to do 2 of these events about a week apart. And when I mentioned this to, well, it was the mother of a school friend of my kids. Turns out she runs every single day. She loves running, and she's the kind of lovely person who loves to help other people as well. So you can guess what happened. Before I knew it, she was texting me, calling me, showing up on my doorstep saying, come on, let's go for a run. Now, there were times when I was like, really? Really? I don't feel like it. I don't want to go. But because she was there, I had to. Right? And I did. And she took me on training runs that were longer than I otherwise would have done. And because I was running with someone else, I pushed myself maybe just a little bit harder than I might have on my own. And I blitzed those events. I got times that were significantly faster than my goal times. And ever since then, I'm a runner. I've actually learned to enjoy it. And it all started with making the commitment, taking the approach, but actually making a public commitment to people as well. And it's interesting, I invite you to reflect on your own life, on times when you have made a 100% commitment to something. When you've said, I'm doing this, no opt out. And when you've actually even maybe shared that with someone publicly, so it's harder to go backwards than to go forwards. When we commit to something wholeheartedly, 100%, it's like the secret sauce. It's like the magic bullet. It opens up opportunities, synchronicities, coincidences, meetings, assistance that help us to achieve the thing, often faster, better, and with more resources than would otherwise be the case. Commitment is a superpower. It shifts our energy around what we want to achieve. It shifts our level of focus. It changes things in terms of our mind, our awareness, what we're doing, and it brings about all sorts of opportunities, awarenesses, and synchronicities that otherwise wouldn't happen. So, is this a superpower that you're utilizing right now? Or is this an opportunity that you haven't yet taken up? Well, I invite you right now, make a commitment to yourself. Pick something that you really want in your life, maybe something you've been putting off. Maybe you want to up level something or start something new, like running was for me. Start by breaking it down into those little baby steps so that you can get started, small instantaneous steps, get moving, take action now. Make a commitment to yourself. Maybe tell some other people around it so you can get the help. Help to stay on track, help to stay focused. And get started. I'm on a 100-day challenge. I have made a commitment to stick it through for at least 100 days and maybe beyond. Are you going to take up the challenge as well and focus on something that you want for the next 100 days? It'd be great to have you along on the ride. If you do want to take up the challenge, I'd love to hear about what is it that you are going to focus on for the next 100 days, because we're in this together. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has served you, maybe inspired you to start doing something that could change your life. Here's to you living greatly, and I'll see you in the next episode.